This is Veiled Experts. We're here on PC taking a look at this free-to-play shooter. Be sure to like the video, subscribing is great as well. So this is the Bomb Defusal game mode. I was in a special session to take a look at the game and kind of get an idea of everything that's going on with this one. We played some of the kind of like team deathmatch, we played a few rounds of Bomb Defusal, and this was a match that I kind of liked as I kind of had a good hold of the gameplay mechanics, and I thought I would show it off, fairly well here. So this is a game that is kind of similar to Rogue Company in terms of the gameplay mechanics. You've got these like quote-unquote hero type characters. You can customize them, you can change out their guns, the way their guns look, their different, outfit type things, all kinds of stuff like that. It's a game with an edge of personalization within its combat and its shooting, and we'll be kind of diving in and showing that off here. But I believe in a sec, we're going to be going over the settings. So for context, this was on the 4090 with an i9 13900K. I did have the FPS counter, but for whatever reason, I'm assuming the different way I had to record it this time, that didn't pop up in the top corner. But I was getting at least 120 FPS, native 4K, all settings maxed out, getting up to like 200 FPS at times, depending on the situation and the map being played. As I did say, we played a few team deathmatch matches and a couple different Bomb Defusal. There's a few different map setups, and there's some different like gimmicks and or cool little spots on maps that can kind of change, and you'll see that over the course of this particular match. But let's get going here and actually take out some of these foes along the way. Gonna give this guy a bit of a revive, and that other guy's coming to attack us. There is like a strange mix of like sort of melee attacks in this one. It's really, really unsettling because sometimes they can sneak up on you and get you really fast. The game actually has like a real sort of like deep-ended, like you can die pretty quick, if that makes sense. Like you can just really get dropped in a second. And if you haven't noticed, it's got a very much Counter-Strike-esque sort of thing. Oh, one thing I really like is that you can be on the ground and you can still shoot people with your guns. So it'd be like, if I had like a better weapon, I could get down and I could still be like effective for my particular team, which is really, really good. But yeah, very Counter-Strike-esque in terms of how you get weapons, how you get like your tools and equipment every single round. So in the beginning, it's kind of like, hey, you got pistols, you might have a bandage, maybe a splurge for a grenade or something like that. Oh, and I love this little thing here. When the matches are done for Bomb Defusal, it kind of gives you like a sort of layout of where everybody was running and where they were going. It's not good from a tactical perspective where you're trying to be like, using certain sneaky paths or doing certain setups. But it's really cool just to be like, oh wow, there was a guy literally on the other side of this wall. Didn't even notice. So yeah, you buy weapons, and then you can equip like things on those weapons too if you want to get different elements of like, I don't know, say scopes and whatnot. And then there's other upgrades. You can be like a Juggernaut, which is a huge armored dude. There you can be like, you can send in like drone stuff. You'll see a lot of it over the course of this particular kind of match and game. So we're diving in again, kind of going on the attack here. Going to try to, I don't know, maybe vary up my strategy a bit. I am actually quite impressed with the aesthetics of this. I think it looks really, really good from a visual standpoint. I also love that there's little bits of destruction. You'll see that as we're shooting things, like certain things can kind of break down, and I think that offers a lot gameplay-wise. You also, again, really need to sort of cleanse your kills, a little bit like Shadowrun if you've played that one, where you gotta actually like finish off your enemies when they're downed, otherwise they're gonna come back and get you, because there's self-revive kits you can get too. And you gotta manage that like health, so I just threw a bandage up there, getting some reloads going. It's also neat, certain maps, well, I guess maybe certain styles and different game types, particularly in deathmatch, they have this sort of like sphere of whatever, magnet sphere or something like that, and it kind of pushes people inwards. And yeah, you could kind of see it in the backdrop there. That's just to make sure that people aren't like camping and stuff, I guess. And it kind of gets you moved around the map, particularly on deathmatch where you are like kind of pushed back and forth across it. It's really neat. But yeah, I also really love how the environment can kind of get like sort of like impacted by your shots too. Like you see like the grenades or the grenades. You see like the bullets, and you know it's just like it's neat how it's a little bit of a reactive environment to what you're doing. Is what I'm mostly trying to say between the destruction and the combat and stuff like that. But shooter-wise, it actually plays pretty well as a shooter. Again, really feeling that like kind of Rogue Company type of vibe to it. But I like the more, I think maybe mature aspect of it is what I was kind of maybe going for, is it's like it just feels a little bit more kind of realistic in what they're approaching. And they've got like a John Wick-esque character, which was neat, but it's like a pretty straightforward shooter game though, is definitely what I was thinking. I still really actually quite liked it. I think it has the potential to do pretty well, maybe in like a bit of a competitive stance, as I think this one could actually quite take off. We'll have to wait and see. Seems to just be PC focused too at the moment. Gonna get a self-revive. So I just kind of show the inventory kind of loadout, and then, you know, sort of skipping onto the actual combat. And yeah, that's also neat how you do different approaches. Oh, there's the Costco hot dog. But yeah, you know, sometimes teams get a little bit more aggressive. It's really very much like search and destroy, this game mode. And it's neat to see those like dimensions as the different characters, or well, competitors, different people on different teams do different things. It's just neat because it is like, you know, they've got different sort of goals and movements, and how they approach stuff is a little bit different too. So I'm gonna kind of move around here. And the maps have like a lot of layerings to them too. So this one's got like, there's actually like a whole lower area. And you know, there's an upper area you can get to, and there's like some grappling hooks you can use. Oh, this is gonna be close. I got it, good. And then there's other maps where it's like, there's some environmental stuff going on too. It's not necessarily just, you know, sort of this like static map. You know, for example, one of them, randomly you'll have like an intense sandstorm. Sweeps through the level, makes it very hard to see, and that in itself offers a very big change up for combat and the dynamics of combat at play. I actually really like that aspect of it, just kind of seeing like, oh wow, we're not being able to see anything, where the visibility just drops because there's like this huge sandstorm. And I thought that was kind of cool. It just, you know, furtherly mixes things up is the biggest thing here. Just kind of changes the perspective. But it's neat, you can also do like, you know, sort of the shoulder shooting. You can switch shoulder perspectives too, and then you can also dive into that first person mode. Throw in the money! Yeah, that guy was like shook. He's like, what is this? Yeah. It would have been easier to get some live commentary stuff. Like, it's really hard to get some of this stuff filmed when you're doing like sessions and stuff like that, if that makes sense. Because it is like an invite session to go and put together footage, and it was just really cool to be invited, actually dive in and take a look at this, because I had no idea what this was. And they're like, hey, you want to take a look at this shooter kind of game? And I was like, yeah, I like shooting stuff. You know, I got this nice PC here. It needs to be used. Especially for newer stuff, right? But yeah. Got a couple self-revives, which is good. I like to throw in like grenades. Like, you get more and more money. And there's also like a team upgrade. I don't know if you noticed that, but you can like do like a team upgrade if you like pooled money. And you can like, you know, give each other money too. You can fund a juggernaut or something like that and send that out there. It's a neat concept, but you can only use so many juggernauts in this mode. They limit things, so that you're not just like, I guess, sending out torrential juggernaut downpours. But yeah, I've very much got like a focus on these guys kind of rushing the center thing. Like, you gotta watch it. Like, I'm playing with developers, so like they actually know what they're doing. But a lot of the other, I guess you would say, press and or other people that are doing whatever, content creators and stuff. Usually in games, they're not like the best, so you could be a little bit more aggressive. I've always noticed, which is kind of funny. Oh, a hilarious thing, one of the devs, I guess, saw that I was doing Age of Empires, so that was funny. He's like, did you make Age of Empires videos? I was like, yeah. He's like, I saw those. I was like, cool. So that was random. Yeah, I didn't see that coming. But yeah, you can see I got down there. And some players will make the mistake of not finishing you off. And, you know, you can have a teammate save you, or you can basically, if you got the self-revive kit, you can save yourself, which is kind of what I'm doing here. I don't think I'm going to quite get away. Nope. Which is good, because we could show off some of the watching. There's the basement right down there. So that's like the lower area, and that's like the side area. And she's moving around. Like, it does aesthetically look really nice. The very detailed environments, lots of artwork. I think this might have been my favorite map. There is like a derailed one, which is like a shipping kind of train yard sort of thing. There was kind of like, I guess you would say, more of like a fort in like the Middle East or something like that. It was, you know, some little buildings. Might have been a manufacturing hub of sorts, you know, something like that, like a cargo place. So that was kind of what we saw for levels. And I think there's like another one or something like that. They kept it kind of limited. We played on the same map twice for deathmatch, and I was a little bit like, huh, okay. But you know, it's like an early look, so you kind of get what you get. And there's like taunts and emotes too and stuff if you want to do that kind of thing, and executions, which is kind of funny. So lots of different kind of options for playing it, which is cool. So I'd say overall I actually had quite a lot of fun playing this and taking a look at it. I actually enjoyed it. As I said, I think it does have quite a bit of like potential as a shooter game. I think if it finds its audience and could kind of take off and whatnot, it's kind of cool. I'd love to see it come to the console platforms. That'd be kind of enjoyable. Always down for more shooter games, right? And yeah, it definitely offers some variety. It's got some different, I guess, quirky type characters, but I don't really... There's like a video that plays for each of them, but I don't know. I don't really know much about them as individuals. But they do have like different abilities too. And, you know, this is very much a learning session for me too, right? You know, because I'm sure people, maybe they'll come in and they'll watch this later on and they'll be like, oh, you didn't do this, you didn't do that. But it's kind of like, literally, they just sort of give you a tutorial thing and they shove you in there and you're playing the sessions. And you kind of gotta, you know, learn on the fly. But they have different, like, you know, ability type things. Different characters have different, like, elements to them that, you know, do different stuff. It's cool. It really is. It's kind of interesting. And I think you'll find it to maybe be a cool, fun little shooter that actually does visually look pretty good. That's got some funny bits to it. But, yeah, reactive environment, interesting combat, neat looking characters, more realistic, mature sort of visual presentation, which I like. And it's something a little different, too, for a shooter. I like the mix of tactical play, you know, sort of taking that Rogue Company, infusing a bit of a Counter-Strike thing to it. And I think this has the potential to be very, very tactical in its presentation and setup, if you get the right type of audience that's jumping in here. But the most part for me, it was fun. It ran well. Didn't have any issues. The UI and stuff I think is very clean and well done. And I think it's got the sort of basis balances of a pretty cool free-to-play shooter game. It'll be interesting to see how it takes off. I'm just going to provide some non-commentary gameplay if you want to see more of it in action. And, yeah, it was kind of interesting jumping into Veiled Experts at this time, and it'll be neat to see the full release of it and whatnot.
Here, we must kill them off.
Uh-oh. Tracking assistance will be over soon. Hurry up. I'm losing confidence in this team.
Forget about that.
One Juggernaut in the team. Provide cover.
Enemy sighted.
One enemy Juggernaut detected. Find and destroy it. Good job taking down the enemy Juggernaut.
Take cover!
You in the afterlife.
What?
Found a revival kit. This should come in handy. Enemy sighted. Did you see that? There's an enemy there.
Magnetic field sensor activated. Get to the safe zone now.
I see an enemy. Hope they haven't seen me.
Don't ignore me and help!
Oh, I was caught off guard.
The seed has been planted. Go and defuse it.
take it if you need it. Here's something nice.
This is your last chance. No mistakes. Check on the teammate with the seed and help with the mission.
Can't give up now.
Magnetic field sensors activated. Get to the safe zone now. One of them here!
On the move.
Just melting the stress away.
Magnetic field sensors activated. Get to the safe zone now.
An enemy juggernaut.
One enemy juggernaut detected. Find and destroy it. The seed has been planted. Secure the area.
Here's an enemy juggernaut.
One juggernaut in the team.
An enemy juggernaut.
Go juggernaut.
Sorry. Aren't you glad I was around? Getting closer to my promotion.
You should try a tougher job next.